All I'm going to do is I'm just going to wait until your humans fall asleep. I will not stop. I am relentless. I'm already using automation. So go for it and have a good nap.
All right, make this a little harder for him, Lalit. Challenge him again.
So I want to dissect a little further now. I heard the two ends, automation, cyber experts. Okay? I can, in the last 1 year alone, talk about the organizations that have both. They have great cyber experts, and they have great automation. They still lost a lot of money through breaches. What did not work for them?
Okay, so that's to me, Lily. Well, look, what didn't work for them? Number one, if you're a boxer, if you're a fighter, I never go into a fight expecting not to take a good, get a good shiner. Okay, I'm going to take some hits, and we never want to have a zero defect mentality about it. Okay, but it's about compared to what? Compared to what? Imagine how that team would have performed had they not had automation. I challenge that back, maybe to Vic.
So there's a presentation that I give sometimes that has a list of all the major companies that have had private keys exposed. And there's some big names on there. I'm not looking to shame anybody, so I'm not going to throw them out there. But these are all companies that you've heard of, everyone's heard of. Everyone gets hacked, all right? But how do you minimize the impact of a hack? That comes back to your strong cyber policy. What do you know what to do? How does your team know what to do when you get hit? You've got to have your policy that all comes back to your cyber experts. If you've locked down your systems, you can at least minimize the impact of the attack.
Okay? So now let's get deeper now. Okay? Let's not skim at the surface. I'm going to pause both cyber experts and the automation, both needed. But let's talk about, in the case of automation, always it really goes down to this technology and this use case and this has been done, configured. And it becomes monolithic, very siloed in that. And everybody comes with their own automation A, automation B, automation C. Is that the kind of automation that should work? And the same thing with cyber experts. We hear all the time, I got expert in here, expert in here, expert here. Is that the kind of siloed expertise that we're talking about? Which one do you think is working better? The integrated automation or integrated cyber expertise?
Let's start with Victor this time.
Sure. So if you look at the common causes for cyber incidents, these are things like human error. Right? You can't automate out human error. Glitches in systems, you can't automate that out. Those things are going to happen. And even malicious attacks, which make up the majority of those events, a lot of those are not stoppable by automated tools. Some of them are, and that's the reason a good practice is going to use both. But the majority of things that come in are going to be better prevented from well-configured systems by cyber experts.
I think we need to dig into this a little bit more. Okay? Everybody knows the weakest link in cybersecurity. We all know it. It's the humans. You can never escape all the punches. But as we dig into this and really data mine to see what the best results are, we see it when we're able to reduce that human element. And can it be siloed? Yes. Does it have shortcomings? Absolutely. But I would just say you're using the wrong tool.
Did you bring a prop, Vic?
All right.
But is this Zelda? This is Minecraft. Is this Zelda?
Yes.
I was going to make a hacking motion, and
Yeah.
I'm too slow.
This was never the physical fight, just to remind you both.
Came prepared.
I got an automated email that told me it was a hacking fight.
But he's got expertise.
By my filter.
All right. So let me bring it all together again. Which works better in an integrated fashion? The automation or the cyber expertise? Which was better, will be more effective for an organization? When you really automate tool A, tool B, C, but automate them together, or the cyber experts A, B, C, and they talking, working together? Which one produces?
How do you automate? How do you do this automated integration without the cyber expertise?
That's what I want to know, because that's what they're fighting for, right?
I can't start with this. I have to start with that.
Yes, makes
Right?
sense.
You're the chicken, you're the egg.
You just really want us to agree on this, don't you? I mean, both are, for large organizations, I mean, practically speaking, you need both, all right? But you got to rely on your experts. Like, and yes, there are problems. You can still have holes come through. You can have something misconfigured. But if all of that stuff is set up well and you've got layers of defense, somebody gets past the first one, you minimize their lateral movements, that is where you're going to have the most bang for your buck.
And when you talk about integration, I think too, well, what's the desired outcome? Do we integrate for integration's sake? Do we cybersecurity for security's sake? No, we don't do it. There's always a purpose. And it's those desired outcomes which should then define your purpose, which should then define, well, where should you be using automation? We don't want to use automation just for automation's sake. That is, that's a recipe for lack of performance.
So Lilith, in your organization, what are some of the tools or controls that you automate?
So, first of all, I think that this was a great dialogue. I love the spirit and the passion and the energy that our fighters brought, and which is important. And my take, and at Inspira, what we're trying to do is really now marry the two things together, automation with the cyber expertise. But I'll also go beyond what we're trying to do. And I will give a simple analogy of in the world that we live in today. If I was to give everyone in this room all the best parts, what makes an automobile like a car. I gave you the best engine, the best transmission, the best tires, everything. And all my ask is I gave you everything, and maybe I also gave you an engineers 1 or 2 and 3. Can you put together a car and drive a car? Maybe you'll be successful to pull together a car. But I'm pretty sure you will have lots of doubts in your mind, can I really, do I want to drive that car? That's where the challenge in today's scenario is coming out to be. Both automation and expertise is required. But what we also require is the whole tighter integration. So when I started with the conversation about this organization that got breached with all the tools, technologies, and everything, they had all the expertise and automation in their areas. What they did not have was the tools talking to each other, leaving the gaps within each other. And when you have those vulnerabilities, that leaves an open space for the bad actors to really get through. And that's what's another focus area. On top of that, automation helps us simplify stuff. That's the beauty of it, because it really makes me more practical, more standardized and everything. Expertise, get the best outcome of that automation is needed. But on top of that, simplification of that so that like outcomes can be achieved and you can measure how many organizations think about that and look into that. They're so still siloed in their own pieces of automation and in their own pieces and worlds of expertise. Our goal is to really bring it all together. That's what at Inspira, what we're trying to do is by bringing this outcome-based solution offering so you don't have to worry. This is the keys to your car, go drive it. You don't have to worry about like what's made up in it. You're ready to go. And guess what? I'll make sure that then when the next model comes and after that or the things come, you're automatically getting the best of the breed. You don't have to worry and think about that. That's where the difference we're trying to make by bringing that all combination of things together.
So you're being a partner to other organizations.
That is correct. We are being partnered to not just the technology providers or the cyber expertise. We have the cyber expertise and stuff we're bringing together. But with organizations, we're trying to really give them the sense of this is why I was trying to spend all these dollars on. Their core business is different. They're not in the business of cybersecurity. And expecting them to really bring and have the knowledge of all that is an uphill task. We're trying to simplify for them, and so giving them all the kind of like solutions that they can really apply versus, hey, here's another technology thrown at you, try to automate it and trying to bring more expertise around it. They're not equipped for all that.
All right. Well, let's see what the audience says. Audience, if the defendants would please stand up. Let's see how we did here. Everyone, this is your opportunity to vote. You heard the different positions. Cyber expertise, automate everything. Who's going to win? Automation. Automate everything. I see our next contestant. Cyber expertise. That's pretty strong. I expected the Minecraft axe to really pull that in. But I think our winner, right here, Victor, congratulations. Victor wins. Oh, very nice. Very nice. All right, thanks so much, guys. Thanks so much.
Thank you. This was wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for that.
Thank you all.
Absolutely.
Hey, guys, we're going to do another one right after this. We don't usually do what's about to happen. What's about to happen is we're going to continue talking about automation. We're going to change the focus. We don't usually do the same types of topics in a row. We like to keep it, interesting, but we just talked to a solution provider about how they can partner. Now we're going to talk about tools. What tools in your environment do you automate? Which tools in your environment cannot be automated? And what are you missing from your current posture from an automation?